I am in no way a Dr. Cornel West or Gates. His name Louis Gates, Booker T. Washington, Martin Luther King. Nobody like that. I am no historian, but I do some studying on my own, research. And I found a lot of things about human beings, and I've done a lot of research on race. I've done a lot of research on the planet. And just having a lot of knowledge, you kind of bring things together. I think you have to have an array of various knowledge in order to understand a lot of things. It don't necessarily have to be about one specific subject. It don't have to be about race. It don't have to be about, one particular subject. And you put all these things together, and then you come to a conclusion, a hypothesis of certain things that just are, right? And I wonder, are people open to the truth? Or do they hear the truth and don't act on it? And what I mean by that is, let's just take something as simple as dinosaurs. For a long time, people thought dinosaurs were reptiles. But it turns out that they were not reptiles. The dinosaurs that we think about dinosaurs, right? They're warm-blooded, laid eggs, right? They say, well, reptiles lay eggs. Not all reptiles lay eggs. And birds lay eggs. They're warm-blooded. Anyway, people thought that dinosaurs were reptiles, but it turns out they're not reptiles. They more than likely, a lot of them had feathers. But we don't know unless we recreate, from DNA or find fossils, which they have found fossils of dinosaurs with feathers, right? These things have changed people's perceptions, but still, some people still think of dinosaurs as reptiles. They just do, right? Another point, at one point, people thought that the earth was flat. They also thought that even if it was round, that the earth was the center of the universe. But now it's found out that earth is not the center of the universe. How long did it take for a lot of people to really get to that concept and accept it? Accept a lot of those concepts. It went from flat earth, went from earth to being the sun and all the other planets revolving around the earth, to the earth revolving around the sun, right? No one knew about any other planets other than the solar system. Then they found planets and they found other solar systems. How long did it take for people to actually accept that? And I'm not talking about now, because you got to think about how long ago this concept of one solar system existed. Long ago, right? Now, think about this. Think about if you seen in your church and you grew up seeing pictures of Jesus being Caucasian, being basically white is what they call it. then you start to find out that even through the Bible, you start to actually see, because nobody really understands the Bible unless you really, really, really study it. And you got to study it, and you got to decipher it. It's just not like PD went to the store and got an apple and brought it back. No, because it's so much into the Bible that you just cannot read it and just know what's going on. It's so much interpretation that has to go into it, because they're speaking in a way, and it's not even the Bible really is not even in chronological order, man, because it goes back and forth. So you have to really study it to know what's going on with it. Anyway, if you found out that Jesus wasn't white, would you immediately take all of Jesus' pictures off and replace it with a darker skinned person? Because it's still going to be a depiction, because nobody has a photograph of Jesus, so it would have to be a depiction. Would you just darken the picture that you already have, or would you go about making an entirely different picture? Features, but the features be different, because you got to think about it. Like, let's just say that you take a picture of Jesus right now, right, and then all you do is just darken. Well, you still have the nose, the lips, cheekbones, ears, forehead, jawbone. Everything's still gonna be the same. You just darken it. But could you argue that all you have to do is just darken? You really couldn't, unless you did a lot more research on what people actually looked like during the time of Jesus. Then you have to look at the jawbone structure and the nose and the brow. Of course, you definitely have to change the hair, color, and the texture and how it look. I'm not saying an afro, but we don't know. We have to do more research. But it could be along the lines of like the Middle Eastern people of today. You could go back that far. I mean, we're talking about 2,000 years. That's all we're talking about, 2,000 years. It's not that much change that's going to go on with the people in that area, if you're looking at people from that area. But you also have to understand that people travel, so that does not necessarily mean that Jesus is going to look like the average Middle Eastern person or Jewish person that we know of. Very well could be dark skinned. Very well could have an afro. We don't know. We don't know. But would you change it? That's the question. Would you change it? Would you continue on having a white Jesus depicted in movies, in the Bibles that are distributed, in pictures that you put up, or pictures or stained glass windows that depict Jesus? Are you gonna have to remove that? Would you remove it if it was found? I'm just saying, because they're always giving you more and more information, and it may not happen in our lifetime where they just definitely say, okay, hey, Jesus was dark skinned. But let's just say, for instance, right now, you found out that Jesus was not Caucasian as they depicted. Would you change it? Would you change the picture that's hanging up on your wall? Would you go out and buy another depiction of Jesus in a Bible that has another depiction of Jesus? Because I have a Bible that has the depiction of Jesus being Caucasian on the front of the Bible. And it's still the Bible, but it's got a picture. So if you had a Bible like that, would you go out and just buy another kind of Bible? Because then you would be basically depicting a Jesus that does not exist on your Bible. You would be depicting a Jesus that did not exist in your church, on your fans at church, in pictures. And what about the depiction of Jesus in movies? How would you look at that then? Would you look at it just for the content and just, well, we already know that Jesus wasn't white, but hey, still had the same message? Would that be okay with you, or would you be like, nah, they got to remake it? Because that's your religion. If you're thinking about it, it's your religion. So would you not want your religion to be reflected as true? Or would you continue on worshiping in a way that depicts Jesus the way he is not? You got to think about that, man.